G'day everyone, welcome back to Grandma's Handbag. You're with Dean. You're with Grandma's little helper. Glad you can join us here. We've got another episode of Spinner Winners. CDs, the dreaded CDs. Plus I've got a few more things I just want to run through as well. It's probably been a while since I've done a shout out. Some shout outs, so just to get a few of those through, and also I have something which you might see in the cover art, the thumbnail thing, you know, that thing, the technical term, the widgety whatsy. Anyway, that's coming up. First things first, Grandma's little helper, Amber Especial. From Zaragoza in Spain, 5.2% macro brewed lager. What can I say? The good things about it: good alcohol content, great with food, nice on a hot day. And that's about it for that, actually. Anyway, good stuff. So here it is in my hot little hands. A bit cooler because of that beer. Andy's Vinyl Den, Tales from the Dead Wax, #1. Finally made it on the slow boat out to Australia. Although I do see a few people in the UK just got theirs, so they're on a pretty slow boat as well. What a great read. Very, very lucky, fortunate to have this. Andy, thank you so much for your signature. Thank you for the greatness within. Really great read. For the poster, I can't believe, you know, the riches abound on this. Great stories in there. I still cracked up reading Vinyl Richies again. Metal Mickey's voice was right in my head reading this as well. And Tales from the Crate, I hadn't seen that before. It had me running back to the original video. Andy, what a great tribute. This is just well drawn, well laid out. I don't know the terminology for comics, but a hell of a great read, and I'll be back for part 2. Let me tell you that. Really great piece for the VC, and Andy, love your work. Great work. Alright, before I jump into the Spinner Winners, the gold and the silver discs, a few shout outs. Just shout outs are a weird one for me. If I could shout out everyone in the VC, I'd do it. Probably be a very boring video until your name comes up, of course. But yeah, how do you pick and choose? It's like picking a favourite child. Everyone's got their own strengths in the VC, but I just thought, in the spirit of the place, just, you know, pay it forward a bit and just highlight a couple of channels, people, personalities and music things that I've been enjoying lately. So if you haven't come across any of these, and I'm sure you've seen a few of them, if you haven't, go check out their channels. I'll put some links down below. Jacob at Moonrock, I hope I haven't said that wrongly, Jacob, but Jacob, coming out of Denmark, great little channel, a lot of stuff that he's showing. You know, I guess you could say it about a lot of people, but very eclectic tastes and very much on the new stuff as well, and especially new locals, so Scandinavian, Danish, very good stuff. Jacob, great work. Check out that channel. Dustin over at China Ditch, another guy doing good things. He's definitely on an alt country tip, but so much more than that as well. The well just keeps getting deeper and deeper. So China Ditch Records, Dustin, great work. Have a look, guys, if you haven't already. Nice bloke, good stuff. Jeff Kempen, well, we all know Jeff from his Crazy Eights contest that just about lit up the VC, but yeah, just a highlight. Look, great having Jeff's voice all across the classics. Interesting stories, how they relate to him. His top 100, some great viewing as well. So if you haven't checked that out, have a look at that. Hannah at the Omaha Introvert, you know, opening my eyes up to new 90s stuff, power pop stuff as well. There's classic stuff, a lot of things going on there. Great work, Hannah. Who else have we got here? Vinyl Victim's niece, Amberly. It feels weird saying that. VVN I call. Anyway, fun channel to check out. VVN, love seeing your collection start to expand. It's always great to see. Mark, back to the vinyl in the UK. Again, another guy with a very eclectic taste. You know, I call my channel Grandma's Handbag because you never know what you're going to find in there. But I tell you what, every time, just no idea what's coming next with Mark. So yeah, back to the vinyl. He's got a subscriber contest just starting out too, which promises to be some fun viewing. So yeah, there you go. If I didn't mention you, it's not because I love you any less. I'm a shit of a man. No, well, I hope that's not true either. But anyway, yes, the handbag is back. It's time to dig in. Spinner winners, these guys are CDs that have made the collection. Now, just for point of reference, here's a bit of a picture of what's in the collection, and to the right of it, what's trying to get in and what's not in, and what I don't know about yet. So here you go. So I tell you what, these ones here have been auditioned. I've got a hell of a backlog as well to audition, but these are in. So I'll try not to spend too long, but yeah, new surprises or things that I've wanted for a while. And look, I'd love all of these on vinyl, but look, let's be honest, the prices, they get a bit silly. You know, we're very much in a revival, and it's a seller's market for vinyl at the moment. A lot of competition for good titles, so very hard to get these sorts of ones at the same prices as CDs. These are all costing me between basically $1 and $3 each. Hard to refuse at that. Cat Stevens, Teaser and the Fire Cat. I've shied away from Cat before because I just thought overexposed. What could I know? But you know what? There's probably a reason why he sells a lot, and that's because he just does good work. Moon Shadows on here, Peace Train, Morning is Broken. It's just the greatest hits. But then there's really good other cuts. Ruby Love, Bitter Blue. Really love those ones as well. So Cat's in. Next one, Afix Twin Drugs. Double disc set. Album from 2001, and yeah, I've been slowly picking up Afix ones. This is definitely a winner as well. I'm probably more partial to the more pastoral, ambient side of his work than the glitchy aspects, but overall, plenty to like in there. The next one, well, I'll give you a little spoiler alert. This guy will turn up in my hottest 100. Why do I always say hottest 100? Top 100 records, which I will be doing, hopefully in the not too distant future. Space Monkeys vs Gorillaz, a dub remix of Gorillaz' first album. I'll have more to say about it later, but this is just a fantastic, you know, really underrated dub and remix album. Better than the original album for my books. Next one, Ryan Adams and the Cardinals, Cold Roses, double CD set. Plenty to like on here. Yeah, very surprised at that. I'd all but given up on Adams, but when I saw this for a couple of bucks, took a punt. Really enjoyed it. Got some country sounds, country-ish sounds. It kind of reminded me of where I've just left those lovely fields and things, and I've come here with the factory nearby. So it's got that alt country tenderness and a good bit of rock grunt in there as well. Speaking of rock grunt, Gang of Four, Return the Gift. This is a double disc set. There's a set of remixes on here, and the other ones are re-recordings of some of their greatest songs off the first three albums. This was very important to me when it came out in 2005, but I've never had a copy on CD or vinyl. I just like these versions because they're a lot beefier. If there's one problem I have with the early Gang of Four stuff, it's kind of anemic, do you know what I mean? It's like you get the oomph from the words and the arrangements and things like that, but the way it was recorded, to me, was just crying out for some bass grunt and some punch in the drums. You know, the guitar is fantastic all the way through, but on here it sort of gets the sound it really needs, so I like it. I don't know, some of them are much better than the original recordings for me. Smiley Smile mixed with Wild Honey, the 2-for-1 Beach Boys. Look, it's hard to resist songs on here. Heroes and Villains, Good Vibrations. Wild Honey is just a great sort of soul screamer. Darlin's another fantastic one. Lots of good little interesting songs in between as well. Hard to leave that elsewhere. This one, should have put this in my New Zealand video. Anyway, we have Flying Nun compilation, In Love With These Times. 13 tracks, and there's plenty of good bands to go around on there. Chills, Straight Jacket Fits, My Snappers on there, Verlaines, Tall Dwarfs, well, what else can I say? Bail to Space, The Bats. So great compilation of New Zealand stuff. Probably came out for a 10th anniversary on Flying Nun, I'd say. So 90 or 91 that came out. This one, wow, well, this is hard to resist. Isaac Hayes, Hot Buttered Soul. Yeah, wasn't expecting a huge amount from this, but well, Walk On By, and by the time I get to Phoenix, especially when that slipped on, it just has this thing that draws you in, the storytelling and the arrangement, and you know, halfway through, by the time I get to Phoenix, I was hooked. Great, really good stuff. Naturally, of course, being on Stax, you've got the Bar Keys as a backing band, so it's all nice and tight back there as well. Isaac's vocals, all good stuff. When you find a Mazzy Star single, especially a song like Fade Into You, you don't leave that lying there, so lovely, lovely stuff. In fact, they're touring Sydney pretty soon. Has anyone seen them lately? Has anyone got a, or at all, actually? I have the feeling I need to see them. Hope Sandoval, I've loved some of her solo stuff. Post here, I know they're in Opal, or David Roback was, but I'm still not buying that ticket yet. So if anyone's seen Mazzy Star lately or ever, let me know. Let me know what could be in for. Here's an interesting one. Don't Mourn, Organise. Songs of Labour songwriter Joe Hill. So this comes out on Smithsonian Folkways, and it's a really, really interesting document, I suppose. It's got songs either written by Joe Hill or about Joe Hill. So there's one by written by Phil Oakes and sung by Billy Bragg. That would be the newest song on here. And the oldest ones, I think, go back to the 40s and 50s recordings even. Of course, you've got Paul Robeson's masterful version of Joe Hill here. And then you've even got some contemporaries, people like Utah Phillips. I don't know if he was an exact contemporary, but other people and stories surrounding Joe Hill and the union movement. So, yeah, very, very surprised at that one. Alright, these next two. Bruce Springsteen Live, 75 to 85. My only thing is, look, 2, 3, where's 1? That is so maddening. Who the hell would donate, or, well, where's number 1? You know, if someone actually just went and bought disc 1 and left 2 and 3 there, what kind of madness is that? Oh, it's just, I don't understand. Anyway, I managed to get a copy of disc 1, so we got disc 2 and 3. Can't leave them sitting there. Alright, Desert Sessions 9 and 10. Look, great guests on here. PJ Harvey, Dean Ween's on there. You know, the whole Queen's coterie of people as well. So, fantastic stuff. The original version of Wanna Make It With You is on here, which is just a great, surprisingly pop song for a Desert Sessions disc. Now, the earlier ones are hard to come by in Australia. This was put on a major label, so that's a bit easier to get, but you're guaranteed a good bit of quality on a Desert Sessions disc, that's for sure. Next one is the first album called The Floodlight Collective from Lotus Plaza. Lotus Plaza is a guitarist out of Deer Hunter, and so we're talking sort of gauzy, not quite shoegazy, but it's very much ambient end of rock. It's somewhat similar to some Deer Hunter, the instrumental stuff more than anything. But yeah, good listen. Next one, well, what more can you say about Captain Beefheart and Safe as Milk? Just wasn't going to leave that there for a couple of bucks. Still haven't picked up a vinyl copy, but it's got to happen. Can't leave it out of the collection. This is, I've already had one copy of this and I gave it out, but it's never boomeranged back. No need to worry about that lost child anymore. Dando Shaft. This, I think, might have been shown by Zeke, the VG Plus, aka the Vinyl Geek, a while ago on some on a folk or acid folk thing. Very surprised at this for a buck. Really not that bad at all. Early 70s Australian, English, British folk. Pretty solid. And lastly, the Chameleons' second album, What Does Anything Mean, basically. And again, really surprised by this. I'd been told that, you know, their best album was basically Script of the Bridge. So I hadn't bothered to look into any more. I thought it was a case of, you know, diminishing returns after that. But this one, very surprising. It maintains almost the same quality as Script of the Bridge. So I think I've seen Daddy Sensei Silver Lou. He might have shown the vinyl of this recently. My mate Christian Kriesel got a copy of this, and I know you were raving about it, Christian. So yep, in the club with the CD version for a couple of bucks, and very happy with that too. Alright, that's it for now, everyone. Thank you for checking in to the Spinner Winners edition number 3. If there's anything you've got or you like or recommend in any of these, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. I mean, what else? In the meantime, I'm going to sit back, enjoy the rest of this one, and just enjoy the late autumn, I guess, or mid. Actually, it's not quite late autumn yet, but mid autumn. Feels like it's turning a little bit. So daylight savings is finishing soon, and try and make the most of the outdoors in the meantime. Cheers, VC.